Previously on Titans Rise.
I'll have her head along with anyone who harbors her.
Who are you? How'd you get here?
My name is Raven. You belong with others. Like me.
Thanks, new guy.
Yo, my name isn't New Guy.
Well, what should I call you then? Whoa. You're
I'm a cyborg.
The name is Beast Boy, the king of the jungle, the whole zoo in one package.
You still want to leave me, Carol?
Oh, come on. It's over. It's been over for months.
Sir, the League has precautions in place for things like this.
Oh, here we go about the Justice League again.
What? Jealous you're not in it?
Says the one who got fired.
Enough! While we bicker, those monsters have that girl. We cannot let them escape.
Jeez! And we're supposed to be the ones protecting her?
Do you know the whereabouts of Donna Troy?
Donna? I haven't talked to her in ages. But I'm sure with a little detective work, I could track her down.
Good. She is the final piece of our team. Find her, and we'll be complete.
In the city of Gotham, Barbara Gordon sits in her bedroom. There was a time that she was Batgirl, a daring vigilante who stood alongside Batman and Robin. But after some horrific circumstances, she is now Oracle, the all-seeing eye of Gotham City. Tonight is different, however. Tonight, she's just Barbara Gordon, doing her hair in the mirror as her father calls her from across their small apartment. He is Jim Gordon, the commissioner of the Gotham City Police.
Barbara, your boyfriend's here.
I'll be just a minute. Can you get the door?
All right. Just a second.
The commissioner makes his way to the door. He looks down at his hand as he moves to open it, noticing a slight tremble. His hand has trembled every time he's reached for the door. Every time since that night. He takes a deep breath and leans into the peephole, seeing the nicely dressed, combed hair figure of Dick Grayson. Once the ward of billionaire Bruce Wayne, he's since made a life for himself. A life with Jim's daughter.
Dick, come on in. Barbara's just getting ready in her room.
Good to see you, Commissioner. How was she?
There are good days and there are bad days. The days you come round, well, those seem to be the good ones.
Seems like I should get to her then.
As Dick Grayson begins walking away, a firm hand grabs his shoulder, halting him in his tracks.
Dick, listen to me. She's been through a lot recently. You seem like a nice kid, you really do. But just know, if you ever hurt her...
What are you two talking about?
A door at the end of the hall is opened, and sitting inside of its frame was Barbara Gordon, a stunning redhead woman in a wheelchair, her glasses resting just at the peak of her nose. She looks skeptically between the two men, Dick shrugging off the commissioner's grasp.
Oh, your dad and I were just discussing last night's hockey game.
Yeah, the Gotham City Knights would have had it if not for the high-sticking goal that cost them the game.
Right? Well, I'll get out of your hair, sir. Babs, you had something to show me?
Yeah. We'll be back in a few, Dad.
Dick Grayson looked back at the commissioner, giving him a shrug that was only reciprocated with a stern glance. Dick walked into Barbara's room, taking a seat on her bed next to her computer, shutting the door behind him.
Okay, first of all, hockey? Seriously?
I know. I don't know why it's the first thing my mind goes to.
He was warning you, wasn't he? Not to hurt me?
It's just typical dad stuff. I'm sure he's just looking out for you.
Maybe he wouldn't feel like he has to stick up for me if he knew who I was.
I'm pretty sure you'd be buried under this apartment complex if he knew who you really were. He certainly wouldn't let you out there anymore. And neither would I.
Dick, you were never one for caution.
Well, I am now. After you. After Jason.
You can't keep blaming yourself, Dick. You weren't there.
But I could have been.
You had no idea what was going on.
Bruce called me the night Jason was murdered. He told me the Joker had escaped and that it was all hands on deck. But I was so stubborn, so angry with what had happened to you. I ignored him.
Dick, nobody blames you for Jason's death.
I do. If I'd answered the call, if I'd been there, maybe I could have saved him. Maybe I could have stopped the Joker, and Jason would still be alive.
You can't sentence yourself to death based on maybes. What about this new team? Maybe this is your chance to try again, to lead these Titans.
But what if they get hurt? What if I make another bad call?
What if you don't? You all saved countless lives in Detroit. Good people got to see their families that night because of you. I think it's the right thing to do. Which, speaking of...
Barbara turns her computer monitor towards Dick. A static image pulled from a security camera stands dormant upon it.
Look familiar?
Wonder Girl. That's Donna, all right. Where was this taken?
Facial ID tracked her throughout Manhattan. I did a little digging on the place she keeps coming back to. It's an apartment complex that burned down years ago. Wonder Woman was on the scene.
Donna's old home, before the Amazons took her in. Thanks, Babs. You're a lifesaver.
I know. Now get going, Boy Wonder.
Dick Grayson stands, shedding his attire, his Nightwing suit underneath it. He dons his domino mask and leans onto the handrails of her wheelchair. The couple smile at each other for a moment before leaning into a passionate kiss.
So, what are you gonna tell your dad?
You're playing too close to the window, fell 12 stories to your death.
Oh, he'll be thrilled.
They smile at each other again before Nightwing lifts up the window and gracefully dives out into the cool Gotham air, mantling onto his motorcycle before driving off towards Manhattan.
Titans Rise, Part 2. Like father, like son.
In the back alley behind a Gotham diner, there is a towering figure in a trench coat and fedora. A gentle rain falls on him as another figure walks up to meet him, a plate of pie in one hand.
Couldn't have gotten this yourself?
With the way I look, they don't really let me into establishments like these. So, you're Deathstroke the Terminator, huh?
You know who I am. Just like how I know you just got out from Amanda Waller's little suicide squad. So let's cut the shit and get down to business. You want Nightwing dead. It's gonna cost you extra.
Extra? Why?
He's, recently surrounded himself with some very powerful friends. For the inconvenience of going through them as well, it'll cost you extra.
Kill them all for all I care. Now to negotiate the terms.
I answer to no one. I knock them off my way, and I get paid in advance.
I ain't paying shit till the job's finished.
Then you can take your contract and shove it. I'll be waiting for your call once you wise up.
Deathstroke turns, beginning to make his way out of the alley as three men block the entrance, pistols drawn and trained on the assassin.
You seriously didn't think I'd meet with a man like you without a little backup, did you? And I ain't taking no for an answer.
You're making a big mistake, Waylon.
Not as big as yours, I'm afraid. Awesome, boys.
Pistol shots ring out in the alleyway, but Deathstroke is already on the move. He leaps up and grabs hold of a fire escape, kicking forward and using his momentum to spring towards the gunman. And in a single draw and slash of his sword, the bullets stop. And a moment later, bodies fall.
The HIVE recruited you, didn't they, Croc? Set this whole thing up.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
Do yourself a favor. Ditch him while you can. I'll be seeing you again soon.
Deathstroke's sword drips blood onto the concrete, and he doesn't even bother to turn towards the now trembling Killer Croc. And with that, the Terminator sheathes his sword and exits into the crowded streets. A fuzzy monitor recording for a group of cloaked figures.
Did you see that? He dodged every single bullet. His reflexes are phenomenal. Soon we will be able to create our own Terminator, one whose body and soul belongs to the HIVE.
The cloaked figures nod in agreement. Elsewhere, Nightwing's motorcycle pulls up to the ashes of an old apartment complex.
Oracle, you sure this is the right place?
This was the last place my cameras picked up Donna's facial recognition.
Yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. Those cameras, you're not using them to...
What? Spy on people? Who do I look like, Dick? The government? The system was built from the skeleton of Brother Eye. Its only purpose is to monitor and track metahumans.
Ah, the same system that almost destroyed the world last year. That's comforting.
The shape of a dark-haired woman fills the doorway of a ruined apartment complex, one which burned down many years ago with no one bothering to demolish the ruins in the rough part of town. This woman is Donna Troy, and she is reflecting on her past when a sound behind her causes her to instinctively lash out, her fist crashing through a wooden beam. The sound revealed to have come from none other than Nightwing, who narrowly dodged out of the way of the punch, grasping a hold of a crossbeam and using his acrobatics to hang on from the ceiling.
Wonder Girl, hey, it's me.
Dick? What are you doing here? Surely you can afford a place in a better part of town.
It's Nightwing. Can I drop down now, or are you gonna attack me again?
Of course. How did you find me?
Well, I was raised by the world's greatest detective. This is where it happened, right? The fire?
Wonder Woman came in just through that window. She saved me, but my parents, they didn't make it. Diana took me to Themyscira. They accepted me, enhanced me, and trained me.
But even after all this time, it feels like a place you can come back to.
It's nice to feel some semblance of a human home. Or at least, what one used to be. Why are you here?
Alright, this is gonna sound crazy, but it all started with this girl entering my dreams.
Oh, Raven?
Yeah. Wait, how do you know about Raven?
She's been in my dreams as well, communicating with me. Some foreboding doom type of message. Are you forming the Teen Titans again?
Hardly. This group is older, but somehow less experienced than you, Roy, and I were. But this girl, Raven, she needs our help.
Well, count me in then, Boy Wonder. It'll be good to catch up with a friend. Will Batgirl also be joining us?
What do you say, Babs? Down for a team-up?
Tell Donna I'm sorry, but no. The Titans were always your world. Wonder Girl will have your back.
She said maybe next time. Welcome to the Titans, Wonder Girl.
The two black-haired heroes exchange smiles and shake hands. While back in Detroit, the apartment of Grant Wilson and Carol Sladky is filled with disagreement, as usual.
Come on, Carol. I said I apologize. Why can't you just forgive me and move back in?
You really want to know, Grant? because frankly, you scare me. You hang around those thugs, and I don't like what they've done to you. You've fallen in with them too easily.
Are we seriously back on that subject? Look, I'm sorry I even told you about my family.
It's not your family that I'm worried about, Grant. It's you. That you're going to turn out like them, like your father and your brother. Just do us both a favor and get out, please.
Oh no, honey. You're not getting rid of me that easy. We've been together too long to just split up like this.
In a flash, Grant lashed out with his arm, grasping a hold of Carol's wrists. His fist clenched around her, darkening the skin he held so tightly.
Grant, you're hurting me. Please let go.
He's too distracted to hear the door open, but he certainly feels what comes after. As the air heats up around him and crackles with energy, his body is lifted and thrown into the wall behind him.
What the hell was that? I should have guessed.
Disum formum! Strifo claudium!
Standing in the doorway is Coriander, her hands glowing with starbolt energy. The heroes around her have adopted the name Starfire for her, an accurate title to describe her power. Next to her is the cloaked witch Raven, who watches as Carol rushes up and holds back Starfire's arm, ready to unleash another blast.
Please, Starfire, don't hurt him. This isn't his fault.
I don't think Starfire liked the way you grabbed Carol. It might be wise of you to listen and leave. Except that it's over between you and Carol.
No way, lady! Things are far from over. I've got friends who will take care of me. And then I'll come back and take care of you. Just wait and see, Carol. You'll all see.
Grant Wilson pushes past the three women and out of the apartment, slamming the door behind him.
Oh, God. I knew this was coming. I just didn't expect it to happen like this.
I sense dark intentions within Grant. We will do everything in our power to watch over and protect you, Carol. That's why we're here. To let you know that we've made arrangements for new housing for you. Safe housing. Now, let me see your wrist. I will take your pain.
Carol would slowly show Raven her bruised wrist, the cloaked woman slowly putting her hand over the darkened skin. She closed her eyes and whispered a small chant, wincing ever so slightly as the bruise dissipated from Carol's skin.
Does it hurt you, Raven? When you take others' pain?
I am an empath, so the physical pain is not as impactful to me as the emotional pain behind it. I am very sorry for what you've gone through, Carol.
Carol, in tears, hugs Raven, a grateful gesture, even after the team's partial responsibility in ruining their old apartment. But before more can be said, there's a rush of speed and the Flash is in the room.
Starfire, Raven, we've got an emergency. Oh, hey, Carol.
Flash, what is it?
It might just be best if you see for yourself. Follow me.
There's another rush of wind and the Flash is off, racing down the streets. A flaming streak follows in the sky above him, a blazing trail which follows behind Starfire. A black silhouette of a bird soars beside her.
Cyclone Sobern.
I wish I could understand you, Starfire, but I sense that you're asking the same questions that I am.
Manhattan. On a coastal rooftop, 4 young heroes stand. They all overlook a crew of shipment workers loading crates into trucks at the docks.
Huh. They're still loading those crates. Any word from the others?
Whew. Got here as soon as we could.
Hey, Bat Boy. Something is going on down there.
I see it, Beast Boy. All right, Titans, let's go.
The Titans are a new team, formed less than a week ago, but already they move as one. The Flash races in and clears a path, punching men into the water on his way into the warehouse. Nightwing dives down, utilizing his acrobatics with a kick that knocks out 2 more thugs. Meanwhile, Beast Boy roars into action as he morphs into a lion, swiping his massive paws at another armed guard.
Have you fellas seen Dorothy? These trucks are going to Oz, right?
Flying high, Starfire unleashes deadly starbolts into the shipment truck, causing the whole thing to burst into a ball of flame. Cyborg uses his mechanically enhanced muscles to lift the second moving truck into the air, preventing its escape.
You jerks have gotten off easy. Until now. Because now, the Titans are in town.
And using his tremendous strength, Cyborg tosses the truck into the harbor. As a previously unknown third truck roars out of the warehouse, nearly running over Beast Boy, who quickly transformed into a monkey and leapt out of the way.
Hey! Watch the tail! Oh, and speaking of tails, they're trying to hightail it out of here!
Well, then maybe you should leave the animals back at the zoo. I got it.
Her name is Wonder Girl, and it is with astonishing ease that the young Amazon somersaults down onto the hood of the final truck.
Better put the brakes on before I do.
But the driver only seems to snicker at her as he presses harder on the gas pedal, and for a moment it rushes forward before being brought to a sharp and shattering stop. As Wonder Girl uses her strength to stop the truck dead in its tracks, her body crushing its way into the engine bay as the driver flies out through the windshield.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
But as the driver's body hits the pavement, it bursts into a million pieces. Gears, wires, nuts, and bolts.
Oh, he's made of junk! Guys! Those thieves are robots!
As the realization about their opponent washes over them, Starfire continues to blast away at the technological menaces.
No! Starfire, stop! She'll destroy our clues!
But even as Nightwing rushes in to tackle Starfire, her blasts are unleashed, reducing the robots to ash.
It's no use! She already destroyed them! With her power, she's too dangerous to be here!
What do you mean?
You haven't noticed? It seems like Starfire doesn't just enjoy violence. She relishes in it.
Slongawai hipsy.
If only we could speak your language. Understand you.
There's a moment between them, a pause of silence as the alien princess looked up into his eyes quizzically. Then, in an instant, she would take her hand to the back of his head, pulling Dick Grayson into her lips for a long, slow kiss. The rest of the team watching as the white lenses on Nightwing's mask grew wide.
Nightwing? Nightwing!
Up. Let Nightwing have his fun. Although, why he deserves it over me, I will never understand. Maybe Donna could come over here and stop me from wondering, girl.
Oh, knock it off, Beast Boy. All you ever think about is, ow, my back. I think I sprained it stopping that truck.
How about a massage?
Shove it.
Starfire and Nightwing's long kiss slowly ended as she pulled back, opening her eyes to meet his gaze.
Hi, Nightwing. You're really cute, you know that?
Huh? She can talk now? But how?
Lip-to-lip contact. My species can absorb language through the method you call kissing.
And you had to kiss me to do that?
Not really. You just seem like the most fun.
Across the dock, Cyborg's arm extends into the water of the bay, pulling out a sparking but intact robotic thief.
Hey, team! Over here! Looks like Starfire didn't destroy all of them.
Good going, Cyborg. Now we have something to trace.
Your back still hurting, Wonder Girl?
Ugh. In places I didn't even know I had.
Just relax. I can fix it.
You're into medicine, huh, Cyborg?
Nah, I was an athlete. I know a thrown-out joint when I see one.
Hey, Starfire, I know French. Maybe some German? How about Chinese?
No, I think English will do for now. I appreciate your offer, though.
You know, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Cyborg, do you think your father could help us with...
Oh, no way, Batboy! I only talk to that dude when I have to.
But we may need him and his access to Star Labs. It's the only way we can test these robots.
What aren't you getting? He turned me into this freak! Me and my pops are way on the outs.
Please. We need help. Can't you two just bury any problems for the time being?
Not a chance. But I'll see about getting into Star Labs. Don't gotta see my old man to get in there.
Off on a nearby rooftop, the lens of a sniper scope watches the Titans. The marksman behind it is Deathstroke, his armor gleaming in the moonlight.
So, these are the Titans, huh? They're inexperienced, but good. I can see why Croc wants Nightwing out of the picture. Still, there's something about this entire group that stinks. Wintergreen, are you there?
Indeed, sir. Do you require my assistance?
I want you to run a computer cross-check on the HIVE. That's the Hierarchy of International Vengeance and Eliminations.
Will do, sir.
Oh, and Wintergreen, there's one more thing I want you to look into.
And while the mysterious Deathstroke speaks to his butler, a gowned-up Grant Wilson steps through a large mechanical door inside a secret laboratory on an island in the Atlantic.
I'm ready.
And you understand the risks?
Yeah, we've only gone over them 1,000,000 times.
Then we'll do it again. Human beings only use about 1/10 of their brain's capacity. We have learned that somehow Deathstroke has been able to increase his own to 90%. We're going to increase yours to 100%. Just imagine the power in your hands. You can finally destroy the Titans.
Elsewhere, in a mysterious dark dimension, atop of a narrow mountain stands the cloaked figure of Raven.
Please, listen to me. You must hear me out at least this once, please!
Speak!
I've risked my life coming here, to this place where no human could survive, to ask you for your forgiveness. The Bates have separated us for too long already. But now, there is a chance. If only...
No. I do not forgive.
There is a terrible bolt of lightning, one which destroys the peak that Raven stood atop, hurling her backwards. She tumbles down the cliff helplessly, plummeting like a wounded bird, until suddenly she is gone. The dark dimension returns to an uneasy calm as we return to ours, a scarlet streak speeding through Central City, home to the Flash.
Whose idea was it to join this rebound of a team? At least the Justice League gets along. For the most part. Beat.
Wally West enters his home, making a quick dash to his bedroom where he's shocked to see the familiar feminine figure of Raven laying on his bed. She seemed to be covering her face in shame. Or perhaps it was to wipe away the tears?
Raven? What's wrong? What happened to you?
I'm sorry to have barged in, Wally. I had nowhere else to go, and I needed sanctuary. If nothing else than to... No, I've already said too much.
As the Flash sits on the bed beside her, Raven stands, beginning to walk away.
Raven, wait. Don't disappear on me. I have to ask you. No. Raven!
But in a cloud of smoke, the shadow of Raven vanishes, leaving Wally West in his room alone.
Did she do something to me? Affect my mind in some way that made me want to join the Titans?
East Hampton, New York, the next day. If your salary is less than 7 figures in this millionaire's playground, you couldn't afford the drinking water, let alone live the accustomed lifestyle of Garfield Logan, also known as Beast Boy. The changeling took the form of a kangaroo, jumping down a flight of outdoor stairs, Dick Grayson following behind him in a blue bathing suit with a towel draped over his shoulders.
I gotta say, Gar, this place is incredible. How many rooms do you have?
Who knows? I can't count past 100. Face it, Dickie boy. My stepdad is the type of guy who thinks Oliver Queen lives on food stamps.
Growing up in Wayne Manor was something, but this is...
A small country. I know. But everyone's gotta have a place to hang their pouch. It's not too bad. I did almost starve once on the way to the kitchen, though. That third day out was the worst.
While Dick and Garfield make their way to the Olympic-sized swimming pool, 2 young women are changing in a nearby locker room. Starfire stepped out, her armor on the floor behind her as she held up the bikini she'd been given, staring at it with a puzzled expression.
Wonder Girl, I still don't understand why I have to wear this. It certainly can't be for my protection. Does it possess any special abilities?
Donna Troy turned around to see what her new alien friend was talking about, only to see that she was completely naked in front of her.
Yep. It'll stop the guys from going insane when they see you. Trust me, Starfire.
Please call me Coriander. That is my real name.
Only if you call me Donna. Anyway, on this planet, you have got to wear clothes.
I do not understand why, but if you say so, I will do it.
Donna shook her head with a smile as Starfire re-entered the fitting room to change. While back at the pool, the boys continued to wait.
Hey, here come the girls.
Oh, I can see that.
Oh, knock it off, Gar. When you said you had swimsuits for us here, I didn't expect these things.
Dick, I'm so pleased you're here.
So am I. I mean, I'm glad that you're here too.
You look good. I think I'm going to like it here on Earth.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's dive in.
Garfield jumped over the pool, changing into a dolphin before hitting the water and swimming around.
Say, can all your people change shape like Garfield?
Nope. Lucky for us, Gar's one of a kind.
The 2 girls looked on at the dolphin, leaping its way around the pool as from behind, a red streak rushed in.
Hey! Sorry I'm late, guys. Man, the water looks good. It's been a while since I've had a relaxing swim.
The Scarlet Speedster is suddenly there, zipping around the pool and out of his costume. Before you could even blink, he's down to his own swim trunks and diving in.
I know. Wally's abilities are also one of a kind.
Not quite. But don't worry, you'll learn.
While the 5 young adults begin to enjoy their pool day of fun, in Manhattan, Cyborg stands in Star Labs with his father, studying the robot he'd recovered from the bay, and beginning a very difficult conversation.
I'm sorry, Victor, but I can't help you. This automaton is too damaged beyond repair.
Yeah, I'm sure you're all sorts of choked up about it. Come on, just level with me. You never cared about anything but yourself. If you cared, Mom would still be alive. And I wouldn't be this monster.
Victor, that was an accident.
Accident my ass? You and your crazy science friends get off on playing God with us little people. You never thought of me as your son. Just some sort of personal experiment. Man, I'm out of here.
Victor! No! Please wait! It's no use. He'll never listen. He'll never believe that the accident that forced me to rebuild him is also costing me my life.
Man, he's always making excuses. I know Mom would still be here if not for him. And I wouldn't be this damn still Pinocchio!
As Cyborg storms his way through the halls of Star Labs, there's suddenly an explosion that rocks the building. A wall beside Victor explodes, which sends him crashing into a circuit board. He falls to the ground. Dizzying images swirl in his view. All seems vague and cloudy, the smoke, the rubble. But it wouldn't be long before a figure would step through, one wielding a sword and donned in silver and blue armor.
Come on. Get up, creep, so I can knock you out again. You Titans are real tough when it comes to pushing others around. But you ain't shit when going against the Ravager.
The Ravager approaches, grabbing the dazed Cyborg by the neck before punching him across the jaw and back to the ground.
Ugh. You must have a screw loose. Let me help you with that.
Victor's arm morphs into a metallic cannon, blasting forth an energy beam that this mysterious Ravager is easily able to avoid.
Gotta do better than that, robot. My reflexes are far greater than yours. I'll dodge anything you got before I wring your fat tin neck myself.
A shocked expression covers Cyborg's face as he's choked and pinned against a wall. The Ravager's strength is immense and unexpected. Victor does everything he can to break out of his grasp before all the air is choked out of his lungs.
You damn Titans have pushed me around long enough. You destroyed my apartment. You made me lose my girl. And now, I've got the power to make you all pay.
Man, you'll have plenty of time to perfect this little villain speech when I send you to the psych ward.
Subtly, Cyborg managed to trigger another transformation. His energy cannon is now one of sonic disruption. He unleashes the hideous wave of sound at his attacker. It's enough to make the Ravager stumble backwards, covering his ears in a desperate attempt to block out the sound.
Ah, my ears! What's going on?
Oh, just a million or so decibels of white noise, asshole. I'm gonna hit you with this until your lights are out.
Yours first, Cyborg.
A shot in the back. The towering Deathstroke stands behind the fallen Cyborg, kicking him to the ground before collecting Ravager, hoisting him over his shoulder.
That power dampener should hold you down for a few minutes, but I'm sure we'll be seeing you again very soon, Victor.
Carrying the unconscious Ravager over his shoulder, Deathstroke makes his exit the way he came, leaving a short-circuiting Cyborg to convulse on the ground.
Oh, man. I don't know what he hit me with, but it sure turned out my lights. I can feel it right down to my steel toenails. But pain or no, I still have to stop them.
But Cyborg has a long journey ahead of him, from the crowded Manhattan to the secluded East Hampton.
This heat is delicious. My planet is much further from the sun than yours.
You know, Wally, I for one think having a secret identity would be a massive pain.
Well, you do have green skin, Gar. That might be a problem. But I need a secret identity to keep my loved ones safe. Besides, the privacy is nice too.
Yes, I'm lucky. I don't wear a mask, but somehow no one has connected Donna Troy with Wonder Girl.
My loved ones do not need protecting, at least not in a way that a secret identity could help.
You mean there are others out there? Like you?
My parents, my brother, my sister. I don't suppose I'll ever see any of them again.
Maybe you can. I'm sure Superman or Green Lantern would be willing to fly you home.
Don't give up hope, Coriander.
You don't understand. I can never return home. Never.
What do you mean?
The alien princess turns, warm tears in her eyes. She is about to speak when out of nowhere.
About time I found you, bozos. Try asking for directions in a town like this when you look like me.
Victor! What's wrong?
Just stop talking for a minute. You all have to listen to me.
As Victor begins to recount his deadly encounter, Slade Wilson and his butler Wintergreen stand in their penthouse, looking down at the unconscious Ravager.
Is he the one, sir? Yeah, those HIVE creeps know what they're doing.
He looks absolutely frightful, sir. I should call an ambulance.
Don't bother. The HIVE altered his metabolism. He'll recover.
Where am I?
Stay still. You took quite the hit.
You're Deathstroke. HIVE warned me about you. They enhanced me. Maybe better than you.
Not quite, kid. Your brain capacity is increased, but it's feeding off your body's energy. If you keep using your powers, you'll kill yourself.
In a sudden act of strength, the Ravager lashes out a punch that strikes Deathstroke, violently sending him backwards.
The HIVE told me that if our paths ever crossed, you'd be jealous. My dad used to talk about you, said you're the best hitman in the country, if not the world. He said once you took an assignment, you never failed. Well, I took an assignment too, to destroy the Titans, and I'm not going to fail. I used to worship you. And now,
I'm better than you.
Grant Wilson pulled his mask back over his face, leaping out of the window and descended down to the crowded streets below.
Well, he's certainly determined, sir.
And foolish. Prepare my arsenal.
Revenge. It consumes and controls. The reason behind Grant Wilson's vengeful hunger are forgotten now. All he has is hatred for the Titans. Heroes he didn't even know last week. The reasons are no longer important. Perhaps they never were. For the Titans were merely a catalyst, which ignited a flame that was already burning bright.
The guy was a maniac. I mean, he was ranting about how we ruined his apartment, how we took his girl.
Whoa, hey, don't look at me.
Wilson. Grant Wilson. He was in Detroit when those aliens attacked.
Hey, it might be time for y'all to get dressed. I just intercepted a report of a domestic dispute in the area.
All right, Titans, let's move.
As the Titans rush to return to their uniforms, a lamp is thrown across an apartment's kitchen, breaking across Ravager's masked face.
Carol, stop! Can't you see it's me?
I don't care who you are. I told you we're through, Grant.
Don't you understand? You just shattered a lamp across my jaw, and I didn't even flinch. I'm strong now, Carol. Strong enough to get us anything we want. A house, a car, nice clothes, fancy dining. Don't you want that, baby?
Not with you. Now get out.
You know what your problem is, Carol? You're selfish.
Rushing the young woman, Grant grabs her by the wrist, using his terrifying strength to crush down on it.
Grant, stop! You're hurting me.
Everything I've done it for you. For us!
That's enough, Wilson.
From the doorway came the voice of Nightwing, donned in black and blue, each hand gripping a steel eskrima stick. The Titans filed into the apartment, filling the room around him.
You. The name's Ravager. And don't you forget it.
I'll cut the games and let her go before you get hurt. You're outnumbered. 6-1.
Sounds like even odds from where I'm standing.
With the slow unsheath of his sword, Ravager rushes forward, slashing down at Nightwing, who narrowly dodges out of the way. The force of the sword is able to shatter the floor in which it hit. Starfire attempts to punish this move with a starbolt that Ravager sidesteps.
Donna! He dodged my starbolt! Nobody's ever done that before.
Hey, it's Wonder Girl when we're on the field, all right? And don't worry, I got him.
Wonder Girl threw out her silver lasso of persuasion, which Ravager was able to snag out of the air, gripping it tightly.
Lady, we both got an end of this rope. But who's got you?
In an exceptional show of strength, Ravager is able to use Donna's rope against her, tossing her into Starfire, sending them both to the ground.
Damn it. I'm getting cocky with these powers. Are you all right, Star?
Yes, I think so.
While the two women of the group regain their stances, Ravager managed to grab Nightwing by the throat, using his free hand to unholster his pistol and blast at Cyborg, who used his hand to block the bullets, keeping him at bay. While a green tiger pounced out from the closet.
Hey, Grant! Fight me!
Don't think I forgot about you, shapeshifter.
Yes!
Now back to you two.
I had him, but he ducked right under the punch.
All right, let's wrap this up. My ankle!
He skids across the ground, holding his leg in pain. Above him, holding a metal bow staff, is the looming figure of Deathstroke.
So these are the Titans. I'm disappointed.
You followed me?
It's like you said. Once I have an assignment, I never fail.
I don't need you. I don't need anyone.
You're reckless, sloppy, and ruthless. You pick up on their weaknesses, and not even this Justice League member could stop you.
With the flash down, Deathstroke pressed his boot down onto his leg, causing Wally West to cry out in pain. In retaliation, Nightwing leapt forward, his Eskerma sticks lighting up with blue electricity as they clash with Deathstroke's sword.
You were the only one I was truly after.
Then I hope you did your homework.
As the two of them dueled, Ravager went back after Cyborg and Donna Troy, unleashing a hailfire of bullets upon them. Victor pulled Donna in close, using his metallic body as a means to shield her.
I have no problem chipping away at you, one bullet at a time. Huh?
There was a surge of heat, and Ravager was forced to roll away, a starbolt that erupted the floor where he stood. He looked back in shock at the gleaming figure of Starfire.
Not this time, babe. Luckily, I rolled away. If that had connected, I would have been fried.
Starfire! Don't! You could have killed him!
It's all right, Nightwing. I know what I'm doing. My starbolts have enough power to take care of both these killers!
The violent energy burst continued to erupt from her palms, causing Ravager to constantly be on the move, barely escaping the heat time after time.
I have to stop her. Those blasts are everywhere. I can't get away. Everything's moving too quickly. I'm getting dizzy.
Starfire isn't listening to Nightwing. She's still firing.
I warned that fool that using his powers too frequently would take its toll. I just didn't think it'd kick in this fast.
Starfire, stop! He's down! And I don't think this is a trick. You look sick. Deathly sick.
Nightwing was right. Ravager had fallen. His body lying on the wooden floor, breathing shakily. Deathstroke sheathed his sword, slowly approaching the downed assassin, kneeling at his side.
Deathstroke? Are you there?
I told you what would happen, but you just wouldn't listen to me.
The air grew electric with crackling energy, and the smoking form of Raven appeared before them all.
He is dying. Take him, Deathstroke, and let this be the end of this battle.
Raven? Where have you been?
In a place beyond imagining. Learning that the reason for this team's birth has finally come to fruition. Soon, we will be needed elsewhere. I cannot have this battle wearing you all down. But you... how could you let the boy die like this?
I told him what using that sort of power would do. Now look at him. It's like he's been burned up from the inside out.
Deathstroke. Do we do it? Do we kill the Titans?
You question the fate of your foes? Look there. See the results of your handiwork.
His eyes are narrowed to slits, but he can still see the ones he came to hate lying defeated and dead on the cold earth. The Titans, Nightwing, the Flash, Wonder Girl, Starfire, Beast Boy, and Cyborg. Their bloody bodies piled in a heap, an illusion created for him by Raven. It is then that his eyes close for the final time. His name was Grant Wilson, a young man who had only ever learned one lesson in his entire life, a lesson on how to hate. And in the end, it was his hate that consumed him, and nothing more. A hate that did not die with him, but passed on like a flame.
You Titans did this.
No, it was those who gave him this power that are responsible.
The kid took a contract, and he's dead now, because of you. I'll be seeing you again very soon, Titans.
Deathstroke, picking up the limp body of the deceased Grant Wilson, turned and walked away. The Titan themselves watched on as his gleaming armor disappeared from sight.
You're just going to let them go? But they attacked us, tried to kill us.
That's what separates the good guys from the bad, Starfire. Compassion.
Nightwing's eyes narrowed as he disarmed himself. Deathstroke had said something to him about Dick being the only one he was truly there for. Whoever this assassin was, he was well trained, and Nightwing had to be better if he was going to survive their next encounter.
Compassion. I don't understand.
We will teach you. Now, Flash, let me see your leg.
I heal fast. Just need to keep off it for the day.
Just let me look at it.
Wally West slowly gave in, extending his leg out for Raven to see. He grit his teeth as her mystical presence touched the wound, her mouth calmly speaking an incantation.
Azeroth, Metreon, Zinthos.
There's a black burst of magic, but in that instant, the Flash is back on his feet, his leg feeling as if nothing had ever happened. He flexed and kicked, testing it out before looking at Raven in her dark eyes.
Wow. You're amazing.
Their eyes stay connected for a long moment in time before Starfire speaks up.
So what will happen when he returns?
We'll be ready for him.
It rains the next day. A dark, sooty New York rain that seems to turn the entire world gray. But to one young woman, the elements mean nothing. She has come to pay her respects to a man she once loved and cared for.
That's Grant's girlfriend, right, Wintergreen? What's her name again?
Carol, sir. Carol Sladky. I contacted HIVE regarding young Grant's contract.
I'm sure they were delighted that I'm gonna finish the job for him. Seems I owe him that much. All of those stories about the Terminator. No wonder he wanted to be like me.
Shame you never truly got to know him, sir.
I'd say I knew him pretty well. After all, what is it they say? Like father, like son.
The two men depart the cemetery, their images being shown on a large circular monitor inside of a HIVE base.
The child died, as expected. And now we have the father, as we anticipated. He will not be loyal. It doesn't matter. He'll do his job. We've given him more than enough reason to hate the Titans. And that hate will be enough. Like father, like son. So true, so true.
Titans Rise, Part 2. Like Father, Like Son. Written, directed, edited, and produced by Matthew Dawson. Based on the stories of Marv Wolfman. Starring Crystal Storm as the narrator. Ryan Doe as Nightwing. S.J. Harris as Deathstroke. Vanessa Benoit as Starfire. Nate Lodbrok as Ravager. Jhas Corbitt as Cyborg. Chelsea Krause as Raven. Glenda Villamar as Donna Troy. Bryan Sfara as the Flash and HIVE member. Lauren Kong as Oracle. Makenzie Mclure as Beast Boy. Daniel Long as Wintergreen. Monica Webb as Carol Sladky. Ryan Yoshitani as Killer Croc. Matthew Dawson as HIVE member. Drew Campbell as Commissioner Gordon. Dontae Majors as Silas Stone. And D. Tyler Fultz as Trigon. This production is the effort of Mortalverse Audio Dramas and its volunteering associates. It is in no way affiliated with or representative of Warner Brothers or DC Comics and their characters. This project was created by the fans, for the fans, to show our appreciation towards this franchise. This project has been released for free. Thank you to everyone who helped bring this project to life. Mortalverse Audio Dramas will always be grateful for your time and dedication to this project. Here at Mortalverse Audio Dramas, we believe that real voice work is done by real voice actors, none of which in this episode consent to having their voice used or replicated by any AI means.
So, the Titans proved to be more difficult than I anticipated, but perhaps they're not a group that can be dealt with in the head-on approach. Perhaps they require something more subtle, which is where you will come in, my apprentice. Bring the ground out from underneath them, and you shall put the very earth within the palm of my hands. Yes, the earth. My terra.